This is The View from Where We Live. The View from Where We Live, where we'll take a look at the stories of our time.
Welcome. This is The View from Where We Live. I'm your host, Mary Eckert, and The View is usually from Sheboygan, but today we're coming to you from Kohler. We're at the Valder House for a Christmas show with students from the North High School Vocal Music Department. And last week I visited with them in Sheboygan at their school, and it was quite obvious to me that was not my chorus room anymore. It was clearly more like the set of Fame. 40 years ago, we had 2 concerts a year, choir robes, risers, corsages made out of Kleenex, and a teacher named George Larson. Now, George made the impression on us every concert that this will not be mediocre. But George also started the first Northern Lights group back then, and today you'll see what this group has become. Now directed and motivated by Karen Christofferson, 2012 is much more sophisticated. They have a concert schedule of over 50 performances this season. They have personal garment bags for all their costumes. There are no Kleenex corsages, but they hauled the field artillery to performances that includes a huge electronic keyboard, speakers and amps and cables and wires and mics and on and on. The impressive part is they know how to use them. And later we'll talk with students Becky Denboer, Liz Gartman, and Dylan Yang. So stay tuned for our chat after this performance by the North High School Northern Lights.
even faithful to our Lord. What can we do?
How will we cover them all in our next piece, The Many Joys of Christmas?
enjoyed sharing our music with you and hope we are brighten your holiday season.
Now follow us, Jenny, Brianna,
Ben, Jacob,
Becky, Anna,
John,
Sarah, Chris,
Joe,
Liz, Hillary, Emma,
Chris, Tanner. I'm Steven.
and I'm Laura, along with our director, Mrs. Karen Christopherson. We all hope you have a very merry holiday season.
Singers, welcome. Nice job in the performance downstairs. I'd like to introduce you to some members of the Northern Lights, a vocal group from North High School in Sheboygan. This is Becky Denboer, Liz Gartman, and Dylan Yang. And you are all accomplished musicians. I've heard you perform before today. Becky, are you headed for a music career?
Yes, I plan on going into musical theater after high school.
And what influenced that decision?
The shows that I have been in at North have really made me grow as an actress and made my voice grow and has created the passion that I have for theater.
You also have the personality. I picked you out right away. Liz, how about you?
At this point in my life, music is a passion. However, due to the fact that I'm only a sophomore, I really don't know what I'm doing after high school.
But you're the accompanist for this, or at least the practice one. I want to tell you, if you don't get into music, it's a big mistake.
Thank you.
You are pretty good. You are pretty good. In the intro, I compared the days I spent in your classroom to what you're doing now, and it's still highly directed at motivation, what you're going to be in life after graduation in terms of skills, flexibility, responsibility, adapting. You're teaching other kids. Mrs. Christofferson, your teacher, told me that she's so comfortable with you leading other kids because of what you've learned. Any of you have any comments on that, about what you're learning while you're there?
I would definitely agree that we're all there for a reason. We all have talent, and we're all very bold in our personalities and in our vocal, all that we can do. So I definitely agree that we're all there for a reason.
Dylan, how about you?
I think that we are all here to perform and enthusiast the crowd and make them happy.
You are. You're doing a good job. And you present all this with our state-of-the-art means of communication, electronics. But that, to me, is enough to learn in itself. But really, you're presenting music. And your teacher, Mrs. Christofferson, has said, and I'm going to just read her quote, "Kids today are so high-tech minded that we forget our humanity. Music helps bring that humanity. We have the gifts to make it work, but we need to connect in today's society more than ever." What does that mean to you?
Well, I think that a lot of today, as you said, we are into so much technology that we often forget who we are. And as soon as you hear someone sing or a song, then you're like snapped back into reality and you can see what you missed out on.
Becky, any comment?
Liz.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I would agree with Dylan that, music has been around forever, and it's good to know that groups like us are still around in our world of craziness, and especially around Christmas time when we get caught up in technology and things like that, that music is still here to bring us back down to reality.
Well, I would suggest to all of you, don't ever lose your gifts. Recognize especially that you have them. And thanks for presenting yourselves here today. I'm your host, Mary Eckert, with Sheboygan North High School vocal music students, coming to you from Kohler, where I hope we've enhanced the view from where you live.